Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're getting into something really crucial, the 12 most common reasons managers, well, fail.
Yeah.
Our mission is pretty simple. We want to give you a shortcut to understanding the exact pitfalls that derail leaders. We're not just looking at the failure itself, but the results.
Yeah.
Burnout, low morale, all that wasted money.
And if there's one thing to take away from all the research, it's this. Managers fail when they can't handle three things: leading people effectively, adapting to change, and aligning what they do with the company's actual goals.
Okay.
Every single failure we're about to talk about really just ties back to one of those.
Let's unpack that. We've grouped these dozen failures into three big themes, and we'll start with the biggest one: the breakdown of people leadership and trust.
This one is huge. And the first failure here, the most common one, is just poor communication. Not setting clear expectations, not giving regular feedback.
And the result is just chaos.
It's a team operating in a fog of frustration. And honestly, that poor communication is often just a symptom of the second failure.
Which is?
A fundamental lack of people management skills. We're talking about managers who avoid those difficult conversations because they're afraid of conflict.
Right. The performance reviews that never happen.
Exactly. And that hesitation just tanks morale. Your best people start looking for the door.
So if you avoid the tough talks, you overcompensate somewhere else. Which brings us to micromanagement.
That's it. It's all about control, usually rooted in a lack of trust. And when a manager is in every single detail, everything slows down and you can just forget about innovation.
And the foundation for all of this, the fourth point, seems to be a lack of emotional intelligence.
Yes. If a manager can't manage their own stress, their team feels it instantly. It creates a toxic, reactive environment, and morale just plummets.
Okay, so that's all internal team stuff, but what happens when managers get that wrong and fail to look outside their own department?
Well, that takes us right into our second focus: strategy, growth, and alignment.
This is where the operational mistakes really start to pile up. And the big one here is weak decision-making.
Is it better to be decisive and sometimes wrong, or just completely paralyzed? The research is clear.
Paralysis is always worse.
Always. Being too slow or making gut calls without data, it just destroys the team's confidence in you.
And that weak decision-making is often followed by another failure: ignoring employee development.
Yeah, and this one is tricky. Sometimes managers are genuinely threatened by their most talented people. But when you don't invest in coaching, your team stagnates. You have no leadership pipeline.
And then there's the big picture failure, not aligning with organizational goals. We've all seen this, right? The manager who's working so hard, but in a total silo.
Oh, absolutely. When your team's priorities don't match the company mission, it's just a huge, invisible drain on resources.
And that drain is made worse by the ninth failure, a failure to adapt. This feels very relevant, right?
It's massive. Resisting change, whether it's new tech, automation, HR reforms, it leaves you clinging to outdated practices. It's a competitive death sentence over time.
Okay, let's hit our final theme: accountability and integrity. This is all about taking responsibility.
And the killer here is a lack of accountability, the classic blame game. A manager who blames others for failure creates a culture where nobody learns from mistakes.
And then there's the really serious stuff: ethical failures. Things like bias, favoritism, misusing authority.
Right, and that causes an instant and usually permanent loss of respect. Not to mention the legal risks.
So those two are the foundation. What are the final points that really destabilize a team?
It's the last pair. First, poor conflict management. So managers who either let issues fester until they explode or who escalate tiny things into huge dramas.
And the very last one:
The inability to handle pressure. When a leader becomes irrational or aggressive under stress, they don't just destabilize themselves, they destabilize every single person on their team.
So when you pull back and look at all 12 points, the common thread here: it's a failure in basic leadership. It's about not being able to lead people through change.
It brings us right back to the start. Managers fail when they cannot lead people, adapt to change, and align their actions with the organization's goals. Simple as that.
So since adapting to change, resisting new tech or new ideas is such a critical failure, we want to leave you with a final thought. What's the one outdated practice that you might be holding on to right now? The one that could soon become a liability for you or your team? Something to think about.